Oh, music's too high. What is up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. Now, if it's your first time here, please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie Crew welcome. And if you do so, you might even see your chat up on screen. But as tradition goes around here, the first thing that we always do is to see who are the first members of the crew, who are the original junkies hanging out in the chat. So let's go ahead and do that. And right off the bat, we have Gretchen in the house saying, "Missed you so much. I'm even here for the Nikon topic. I love it." That's hilarious. She also says hi to me, to the crew, to Aiden. Aiden's napping right now. I'm lucky that I got this time off, so he's asleep. But that means that he's gonna wake up in a little bit and probably be up a little later than I want him to. We also have Parker Jennings saying hello to everyone. Randy's in the house doing the same thing. Here we got Paul. Greetings, greetings. He's saying hi to Gretchen as well. David Hunt is in the house saying, hey, hey, hey. Says hello to Gretchen. He's saying hi to everybody. Everybody's saying what's up to each other. Okay, Gretchen's already putting in her first one. Says, meet to camera near bottom of pole on right side of the desk. No, it's not anywhere over here on the right side of the desk, but good guess. But we'll keep that going. All right, love it. But yes, for those of you who are new, we have three items that are like hidden around, the set. Those three items are a thumbs up icon from Mr. Um, Matt Haas, which also reminds me, if you haven't done so, please hit the like button. And we also have a 35 millimeter film canister, and then also the Meet 2 camera in white, so that I could try to camouflage it somewhere here in this set. So if you find it, you put it into the chat like Gretchen just did, and we'll continue. So you got three opportunities. K-Wall so far has gotten most of the points. Randy has gotten one of them from the first episode. And now we're just going to see, we're going to tally up to see who's the leader, which in this case is probably going to be K-Wall, unless somebody comes out of left field and grabs all three of them tonight to kind of tie her up. But that's exactly where we're at, and I'm gonna tally the scores for the first 4 weeks of the Easter egg hunt. So there we go. Everybody's still saying what's up to each other. Paul saying hi to David and back and forth. David saying hi to me. What's up? And Randy says hello back. So I guess he was out for a bit, but he is back. And so are we. All right. So now, with that being said, today we're going to test out some topics. Now, I don't know if you can notice right off the bat, but I am broadcasting in 4K. And this is something that's been creeping up slowly, and I've just been neglecting it. But it looks like one of two things is happening. Either my camera, this one right here, which is the A7C Mark II. No, not getting it confused. The A7R Mark II. And I've been using this for years as my dedicated live streaming and fixed camera with my teleprompter. But I'm starting to see some effects, and I'm actually thinking that is the camera. I am going to be testing out to see if it is the cam link itself, which would be the easier one of the fixes. But I have used and abused this camera for years. Going on close to 5 years, or actually past it, right? Yeah, probably just about 5 years right now, especially when we're creeping up on the 5 year mark of this live stream. So I've been using this camera as my main camera for 5 years, and now it looks like I'm gonna have to make the upgrade, which is not a bad thing. And this is why I always say upgrade your skills before your gear. I've gotten so much amazing use out of it, and it's not like it's gonna die. I'm just gonna end up using it more like a photography camera and take it away from the video side if that's where it's starting to, be weakened. And that's what it seems to look like. I keep seeing like a bit of a hesitation in it, and I restarted my computer today. I did the Like I unplugged the cam link, that one in particular, because I just didn't disconnect everything. I have two cam links, and the second cam link is not giving me any of those types of issues. So, for example, I'll just come over here and I'll switch over to the Z camera, which right now I'm gonna have connected, and what I'm gonna switch to right now is actually the Nikon Z30. And I got some lenses here that I want to test out. The first one that I have on there is actually the Nikon 12 to 28. It's a variable aperture, 3.5 to 6.3. What I have done is that because I know of its limitations, I've already tweaked it down to 6.3 so that no matter how much I zoom or zoom in or out, it's going to stay at that fixed aperture. So all of the settings should stay the same. And that's what we're going to be looking at right now. So now this is the Nikon Z30 with the 12 to 28 lens. Now, as you can see, I got it pretty zoomed in here, but this is the image that you're getting out of it. I like it because there's some new features, right? We can zoom all the way in, zoom all the way out, where you can see all of my mess. But that's what I told you about the cone of cleanliness. So we take the cone right out and we throw it right about here with the Ecamm logo. It's still like not being cut off on the top, and we're good to go. Actually, this is the camera. I'm so used to looking over here. So yeah, so there, and then this is the image that we're getting out of it. So I'm really impressed with this lens. And let me see if I can go to, if I actually have that set up. Nope, that's not the correct one, but let's switch it. This is camera E. Okay, so within Ecamm, I'm changing it from camera C to camera E, which is this shot right here. Okay. And actually, let me bring it closer. Let's see here. Okay. So as you can see, this is the setup that I have right here. This is my old school traditional teleprompter, and this is where I read you guys. That's the A7C Mark II. Then right here we have the Z30. So this is the setup, and like I said, I have the ability to get to it. It's set up higher, so it's giving a bit of a different angle, but I'm actually liking the way that it looks together. It's a nice compact, and it's also a power zoom. So even though it has the zoom capabilities, nothing actually protrudes. So even though the image changes, what doesn't change is actually like the shape and size of it. So if you're looking to get a wide to medium angle lens for a gimbal, this is an amazing lens, and I just really enjoying the form factor. But even though this isn't, like I said, it's a variable aperture lens on this Nikon Z, I actually think that the image quality of the glass is very good, even to the point where, I don't know if you can tell right there, but I have a, oh, it switched it to macro video on the iPhone. Okay. I have a mist filter on top of it. So I have a 1/8 Pro Mist, and that's the way that I'm rocking it right now. So let's go ahead and bring it back. Amazing NDI with the iPhone. So that's the setup that I have going on right now. So here, actually, that's it. So this is the Nikon Z. And like I said, the autofocus is working tremendously. So I'm really impressed with that. But I really want to compare it to, what did I just do? Oh, I killed the music from my end up, making sure that I didn't kill it from yours. All right. So that's what I just did. Or here, better said. I really wanted to compare it to the kit lens because it's got like a similar focal range, and this is also a variable aperture of the same amount, right? This is a 3.5 to 6.3 variable aperture lens. But because of the quality of the glass, I really feel that the image that we're looking at right now is a lot better than the one that I got from the kit lens, which is why I always say upgrade your skills before your gear. But the kit lens usually could be one of those things that I say upgrade first. And I always recommend like maybe a 50 millimeter prime f1.8. It'll give you your first taste of bokeh, and you'll be hooked after that. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and go jump back to the first shot over here, and as you can see, I think now that I've mentioned it, you can really tell the most. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this camera, and now disconnect this lens. You can see once again highlighting it, nice and compact. Even though you're doing the focusing, it doesn't get any bigger. It's, you know, all internal focusing. So I'm not sure about the weather sealing on it, but this lens, I'm really having a lot of fun with it. Actually, let me get the back. Here we are. Nice compact. I really like the way that it looks on the Nikon Z30. Um, but I also have my Nikon ZFC here to also demonstrate exactly like how these look and how they function. But now let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put the kit lens, unlock it, turn this on, give it a second. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing because the settings are exactly the same. So I'm gonna also put it in this 6.3 so that no matter where I zoom, let me go ahead and adjust the frame so that it's similar. And now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that one again. Yep, and this is the kit lens. So 6.3. Let me know if you notice a difference. I'm gonna obviously take a look at it on the back end from the live stream, right, on the replay. So this is roughly like the same frame, and this is the kit lens. So if you don't notice a difference, or better said, if there's no difference that's noticed through the live stream, then we could be dealing the same thing. But at the end of the day, I'm really liking this one. And if you really want to go extra wide, it gives you that little bit extra reach or width, to better say, you know, at the 12 millimeters. So that's pretty wide if you want to use it. And it was very comfortable for vlogging. So this is what I would compare it to, is because of the aperture on it. But I really feel that this is an improvement to what you're looking at right now. But let me know what you guys excuse me, let me know what you guys think, and let me go ahead and check out what you guys are saying in the chat. David's rubbing it in, saying missed you at creator camp. I missed all of you guys at creator camp, man. I'm gonna be honest, it was just it wasn't my season to go this year, but I hope that you guys, well, I know you guys had a lot of fun. I've been hearing stories nonstop, but just know that you were all missed extremely. Like Gretchen was saying as the first comment, like she missed me so much. She's here for the Nikon comment. Gretchen, I was just out with a new client of mine, which I'm very excited about. And we were having dinner last night in Hollywood, Florida, and I was talking all about you, about Gangster Grandma, and how like the community is so tight knit here that I consider you, because you asked to be Aiden's adopted grandmother, that's what you are. You know, like like that's Gangster Grandma all the way from the other side of the country, and I'm just so fortunate to have that. So just so you know, I was missing you and talking about you just last night, including everyone that, you know, I'm so, well, I've gotten accustomed to meeting and hanging out with at Creator Camp. So just know, I'll be there next year. I'm not gonna miss it. I'll make everything. But this year there was too many variables that I wasn't able to navigate it. I'm still putting pieces together. So, but that's a conversation for another thing. So, All right, so we have Safety 404, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Well, thank you for hanging out here, all the way from the cheese state, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Super cool, and yeah, nice to meet you. And make sure that you let us know your real name if you like, so that we wouldn't be calling you by Safety 404. Thumbs up on the camera. Okay, on the teleprompter, Gretchen's got a point there. There we go. On the teleprompter, thumbs up. See, I'll give you guys. And this one's a fail. It says meet two on the top shelf below the eCam sign. I'm guessing over here. But no, the meet two is not nowhere near there. It says thumbs up is located on the shelf. Nope, Gretchen already got a thumbs up. It was on the teleprompter. Here, let me go ahead and throw this camera so you can see it. Bam, right there on the teleprompter. So point for Gretchen. Oh, this is the S3. What? You see, I'm getting a little... Are we seeing a little, Let's see this. Okay, I think that fixed it. Very interesting. This is something that I've noticed, and this is just a little side note. The YoloCam S3 camera, which is what you're looking at right now, in comparison, this camera has to have the program open to work best. I've noticed it gets a little laggy if you're just running it with, you know, like just directly as a webcam. But when you turn on the software, as soon as it's active, like it's just up to par. Everything is just run smooth. So it's something that you kind of have to have turned on in the background, no matter if you're using it for Zoom, so on and so forth. At least I would recommend. Okay, so let's go back here. Logan's in the house. Says, how's the fam doing? We're doing good, brother. Thanks for hanging out. Says little camera by the Windows PC in the background by the speaker. Nope. Not there. But here, let's go to this camera. Yeah, because this is the one that's actually been featured. So this is the Nikon Z30. What you were just looking at was the S3 YoloCam, but now we got that one fixed just the same. Okay, back to the comments. It says, is the Meet 2 on the table next to the monitor behind you? No. Okay, so we got a good spot for the Meet 2 today. We got a good spot. So Gretchen's winning over here because she got the thumbs up. So point for Gretchen. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead, and now that we're looking at this, I'm gonna switch back over to the main camera, okay, while I shut this down and go into the third lens that we're gonna be testing out, because this one's a little bit different. Okay, now the lens that we're gonna be testing out now, even though I'm gonna be putting it onto the Z30 camera so that we can see what it looks like, I'm excited to see what it looks like for video. I've already tested it out for photography, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. The reason why is because I actually connected it to the ZFC camera, and I'm gonna do that now just to show you why. This little guy has got a nice little flat pancake-ish style aesthetic, and I'm having a lot of fun with this lens as well. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of a flare towards the bottom of the lens, which helps it like just mesh to the big size of the Z mount lens. And because this is a dual tone camera, having the dual tone colors on it, just it meshes well, you know. So now this is the entire look of this together, and this is the TT Artisan. This is the TT Artisan 27mm f2.8, and I'm gonna go with the overhead. Oh, I gotta take the lens cap off. Come on, guy. All right, just to show you that it has this interesting knurling. See? Because the knurling doesn't go all the way around. It goes like these old school full-on film cameras, which is what the ZFC is like imitating, right? And it gives you that control, but like the knurling is just on the sides, as you can see. right? Just on the edges, and it's a lot of fun. It gives you complete control of the aperture right on the lens itself, right? So 2.8, 4, just like a traditional manual lens, but you also have a automatic, which then allows the little wheel here to control your aperture. So this combination right here, not only in functionality but in aesthetics, the way that it looks, spot on. Really liking the way that this has been working for photography. But this is a camera that I use mostly for that, just for the photography side. Is he stuck? Okay, that was interesting. They're trying to get it out to connect it over here. All right. And this is a recommendation as well. If you're ever dealing with a camera and you have a body cap on mirrorless cameras, go ahead and put it on there, because the last thing you want is to get like fingerprints, dirt, or anything even worse to fall on your sensor, and then you have to deal with sensor cleaning. So put on your body cap. Recommendation as always. All right. Okay, so that's on auto. I'm turning it on. It's at 3.5. Okay, 2.8. You see, I'm just controlling it now with the ring. 6.3. So now back to 6.3. That's where we're doing all of our tests. Let's go ahead. And now this is the ZFC with the TT Artisan 727 millimeter. As you can see, a little bit more cropped in, and at 6.3. But now all of the darkness that we would be dealing with the other lenses, because of the faster aperture, is very easy to kind of crank that up. And because we're not comparing this lens to each other, wow, that's super bright at f4. Like, that is super bright at f4. I feel like a bit washed out. Am I going the right way? 5.6. Hey, 5.6 looks good. So this is the look, and as I'm seeing, the autofocus is doing okay. Is it? Let me reset it here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Now I'm seeing the eye autofocus, so now that's locked in. And ooh, wow. You saw that? I know you saw what I just saw. And let's see, because you see, that's why this lens might be better for photography than it was for video, because if it's dedicated for one or the other, it can make a difference. And it did a whole lot of hunting real fast, real quick there, and I don't know what it was looking for. But if it's a Nikon, it could have found the face in the background, so could have been anything like that. But this is the TT Artisan's 27 millimeter, and like I said, when it comes to the ZFC, I think it's like a match made in heaven. But I also wanted to test its video capabilities. And now the last one. And now, guys, if you're interested in any of these lenses, I actually was able to, before the stream, amazing, right? I was able to put the links for the Amazon for all of these lenses that I'm talking about in the description down below, so it's an easy hyperlink if you're interested in any of these lenses. Now, the last one is a lens that I bought a year ago, right? And the reason why I mentioned that is because I cannot find it. I found the closest thing to it from the same company. Now, this is a Brighton Star, and I'm saying it correctly. Brighton, Brightin Star. There's no G in the letter. Could have been a typo from China, but regardless, that's the name of the company. I'm gonna go to the overhead again. And this is the Brighton Star. It's a 35 millimeter. Let's see if I can get it up there so you can see. f1.2. I think I paid about 80 bucks for it, 90 bucks. Really good price. This is a completely manual lens. And the same thing, I got the lens hood because this is just a perfect match for the ZFC. Oh, put it on with the body cap, Louis. Come on. That, Leica-esque, right? That just looks so nice. Absolutely love it. and basically night vision at f1.2. Super compact. If I were to take this ring off of it, as you can see literally how small this lens is, but I could only find now the f1.7 version of it from the same company. It looks very similar, small and compact, but it doesn't have the aperture, or better said, it doesn't have the optics to transmit that much light. So f1.2 is this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. I'm gonna switch up a little bit because I'm gonna go back to this camera here, and to brighten it up a bit to compare this one at f2.8, I'm gonna lock this one down so that we can compare this one at the correct ISO so that I don't look completely washed out. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the ISO here down. Okay, and now I got it all the way down to 200. As you can see, the exposure is super dark. And now we're gonna open this up. To 2.8. Okay, so now we're getting the most bokeh that we can out of it. ISO 200, it looks good. So f2.8 ISO 200 on the Nikon Z30 TT Artisans 27mm f2.8, and this is the look that we're getting out of it. Like, this is actually pretty good. And what we're looking at, there is a bit of hunting, you see, and I don't know exactly that. So we could lock it down and put it into manual focus mode. That is always going to solve your hunting problems, right? Like my main camera over here, that's set on manual focus. It's a completely manual lens, very similar to this Brighton Star. So that's what we're going to test out. I'm going to go ahead and focus it in, but I'm probably going to have to back up a bit because you can see the 27mm, we're just about there with my head being cropped in, right? So on and so forth. So the 35mm is going to crop in just a little bit more. We're going to start cutting things off. So I'm going to have to readjust. But I still want to compare the images because that's a simple, like moving the tripod about 6 inches to a foot backwards to get the same type of framing, and you'll get a different type of compression between the 35mm and the 27mm. That's why there are differences in lenses, but that's also why we nerd out and have a lot of fun testing these things out here. So let's go ahead and go back to shot number one while I shut this guy down. All right, so that was the TT Artisan. Oh, and another cool thing about the TT Artisan, did I leave the cap in the back? Oh no, it's over here. Is that it also has a dock built into the body cap, right, of the lens, or the back or the rear lens cap. It has a USB-C, and that's how you're able to keep this lens updated. So that's really cool that they built it into the body cap. So once it's in, did I do it right? Yeah, right. Can't even get the body cap on now. There we go. Everything happens incorrectly on a live, right? So once it's there in this nice little form factor, you have the access to the USB-C while it's sitting in there, and that will give you the ability to update the drivers on this lens. But now let's go ahead and throw on this manual lens, the Brighton Star, because with photography and video and everything, this lens I think is actually, like, it's impressive. All right, so that's completely wide open. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and start at f2.8. Okay, manually set it. Now all I have to do is deal with focus. So now turn that on. It's at f2.8. Yeah, it's hella bright. See, not all f2.8s are made equal, because the only thing that I did was change the lens. Okay, let's go to it. And I'm completely out of focus. But look at that. This is f2.8 on this Brighton Star. Like I said, this is like glow in the dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna Drop it down. Okay, that looks good. And we still have bokeh galore. Oh, but I'm out of focus as soon as I walk away, right? So let me see if I could actually bring this up. Less of my head being cut off. But now this is the Brighton star. And you know what? I'm going to walk around just to give you the correct aperture. Wow. It's actually at an f8 right now. So this is an f8 Brighton star 35 millimeter. It goes up to 1.2, but because of this, the elements, like I was saying, it allows so much light to come in that you have a lot to play with. Because, oh, okay, now I know why it's so bright. Once I shut off the camera, it reset to ISO 800. So let's bring that back down to 200 to compare it to the other one. See, that makes more sense. I was like, why is it at f8? But now let me make sure that it's at f2.8. Yeah, that's about right. But look at that. Now f2.8, the background's completely obliterated. That's what we call bokeh galore, and that's still at f2.8, which means that we can make this even creamier if we wanted to. Like, you can have all sorts of messes like I do in the background, and nobody's gonna be the wiser, right? But this doesn't work if you're trying to do like an Easter egg scavenger hunt on your channel, because it doesn't give the clarity to give people the option to see the items. Because I could throw basically anything on that wall right now, we won't see it. But I'm gonna go all out, right? And I'm gonna open it up all the way to f1.2, and I'm gonna bring the ISO down to 100, maybe even lower if it's possible. No, 100 is the lowest. So we can see the exposure dropped. And now we're gonna open this up. And you can see it can still blow me out, like way too bright. So this is f1.2. Exposure looks good around there. I would say this is probably like 1.8. But like I said, the background is completely obliterated. And the good thing about manual lenses is that once you have them set to focus, they're never going to hunt on you, which is, like I said, why I have it set up that way over here. If I wanted to put something like onto to give you a better view, that's why I have the overhead camera, and that's the one that has the autofocus, so it will focus on things that are brought to it. But while I'm doing the main shots and things like that, I really don't like the focus hunting because it also distracts me. So to avoid that, I always try to use manual lenses, which is, it's a funny thing, right? Like when you first start in photography, you want autofocus, right? Because it's going to help you so much to get the shot when it comes to photos. But then when it comes to video, if you're not on the move, right? Or if you're making like a documentary or a film, something like that, you're going to be dealing mostly with manual focus because you don't want to run the risk of letting autofocus try to focus on something in the background when you're trying to nail that shot. So it's always give and take. But if you're a solo content creator and you only have one camera and you're trying to, put things and demonstrate them and show them like this, like the beauty bloggers, then that's when you're going to need the autofocus. And we're lucky enough that all this technology is so good that you can use it however you like. And that's exactly where we're at. Let me go ahead and check out you guys in the chat. All right. TT Artisan has been killing it lately, says Logan. Yes, TT Artisans, like I have a couple of their lenses as well. I think I have one for my Fuji. Is it TT Artisans or 7 Artisans? On this one's Per Gear, which I'm actually thinking that these are all kind of like the same company, but this is a Per Gear. This is a 35 millimeter as well, f1.6. So this is more similar to what's actually available from Bright and Star right now, which with their f1.7. But these manual lenses, man, like the optics, like the elements inside of them are so good that you're getting like really good quality images. That's basically all I can say. I have no complaints over them. That's why I went and this one's Photosay, and this is my Sony version of it. This one is once again a 35 millimeter, and this was also an f1.6. And if I were to take all the extra hardware off of it, look at how small this thing is. It's minuscule. E-mount. And these lenses, all metal construction, they're all under $100, like 89, 65. They vary depending on, you know, the brand and the aperture, right? What you're actually getting. But this little guy, man, these lenses rock. So this is the Photosay, and then I also have the Per Gear. Pergear. Yep. But as you can see, I have a lot of fun with these lenses just the same. It says looks good on the TT Artisan. All right, that's good to know. And Randall says autofocus is good on it as well. Says the TT Artisan, is that full metal? No, actually, the TT Artisan is a bit of a plastic build. So it looks like there are some metal bits. I know the lens hood is metal. And just to show you, the lens hood is this tiny little thing. Let me go to the overhead once again. Right here, this is the TT Artisan, and this is the tiny little lens hood that comes with it. But besides the lens hood and the threads on it that I know are metal, the rest of the build, besides this seems to be aluminum, right? Looks brushed aluminum. This ring, the aperture ring, looks like it's metal. Is this metal and it looks plastic? We're gonna get down to it because it doesn't have the weight. This is very interesting. Okay, I'm not 100% sure, but if you can see here, I'm gonna give you my quick analysis of it. Okay, quick analysis. Back, brushed aluminum. Metal, plastic. Okay, so metal body and aperture ring. Focus ring is the plastic, which is why I say it feels plastic. I'm actually gonna take that back. I think just the focus ring is metal, and I think the rest of it is plastic. That's gonna be my final. That's my final answer on this. Like I was just feeling, I'm not getting the cold, right? I'm not feeling the metal aspect of what metal feels like. So, aluminum mount, plastic body, metal aperture ring, and metal lens hood. That's my final answer. And of course, a lot of the internals metal, but it is a plastic build. Did I even do it? Bam. Okay, if you put the lens hood on, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Because I was gonna say, I was like, if you put the lens hood on, I don't think you can put the lens cap on because they're similar size. But It's a double purpose lens cap. So you see the inside has like another ring. That's the size of the inside of this. So it still fits. That's cool. So it's not one or the other, it's both. Your choice. Give it up. That was pretty cool. A little surprised on that because I have trouble finding lens caps for things as soon as you put, like maybe a lens hood on it, and now the original lens cap doesn't fit, so that you have to find things that do fit in there. I come across that problem all the time. As you can see, this isn't the lens cap that came with this lens. Is the one that I use for the hood. So, bam, there you go. All right. So let's go back to the main scene. So Gretchen's got a point because she found the thumbs up, and I think that's the only one that we have found so far. So we still have the meat camera, and we also have the roll of film, 35 millimeter film. Yep. Bam. Okay. So that's where we're at. If you guys are still hanging out, still here, please hit the like button. I'm trying to get into the no, like the routine of always saying that so that I don't forget. But we're 10 minutes till. Now is a great time to play Snap Decisions. Okay, so week 4 of Snap Decisions. Now this is where you also get to partake. So I want to see your opinions and your answers in the chat. And let me go ahead and open up my notes to see. Now, Snap Decision, Mr. Chad from GPT, right? He gave us a bit of a challenge this week, right? It's called Creator Struggle Edition. So we're gonna have fun with these questions. So if you're not familiar, we ask 3 questions, which is basically a would you rather, and I get your answers in the chat. So first question for today, right, is would you rather have unlimited creative ideas but no time to make them, or would you have tons of free time but zero inspiration? So let me know, would you rather have a bunch of free time to make projects but have zero inspiration to make them, or be like flooded with creative ideas but have no time to make them? Well, I'm going to answer to you the only way that I can, which is my life. I don't have an option for this. I wish or wouldn't, but I'm actually happy to know that I'm actually part of the one that I would select, which is I wouldn't love to have a bunch of free time and no inspiration. That sounds like absolute torture. And right now, the way that my mind works and the way that my life is, I definitely have a flood of ideas and no time to execute them. Now, I'm very fortunate that I still get to do something that I love to do. I work with amazing people, and I get to produce podcasts and live shows and things like that and make money doing so. So it's an amazing blessing. And I always thank you guys because you're part of what gives me the ability to do that. And with that being said, I still have a flood of creative options or ideas, but I don't get to execute. But at the same time, I also have the ability to help others execute their ideas and goals, which is still very satisfying. It's like I didn't cook at home, but I'm still being fed. And that's an amazing, amazing thing. So when it comes to this question, I would rather have unlimited creative ideas and no time to make them, because even if you never got to make one, you could at least share them with people and maybe help to inspire them to create the ideas that you've come up with, comparative to just having a bunch of free time and nothing and no passion, no drive. And that's just me. So let me know what you guys think. Let me see if you guys some there. Okay, Gretchen's giving me the answer. Says already that's I choose A. Absolutely right. That's why we I think that we have similar ideas, but I always love to get your thoughts on this because sometimes it changes my thought on it, looking at it from a different perspective. Okay, question number 2. This is the medium level question right now, which is would you rather edit one 10-hour video per month or pass or post a new short video every single day, which is just gonna be like, zero editing time. So let me bring this over here. So the question that is now is, would you rather edit one 10-hour video every month or post a new short video every single day? You know what? I gotta tell you the truth. I think Chad from GPT, I think he put these questions out directly for me because I'm feeling what is it? I'm feeling targeted right now, right? Like he's hitting at me exactly because the this is my life, right? Once again, I would still prefer to edit one 10-hour video every month than to post the shorts every single day. That's just because I have so much fun editing and going nerdy into all of these things. So also with the limited time that I have, I could honestly tell you, um, I don't even fall into either of those categories because I spend more than 10 hours on every single one of my videos. Hands down. 10 hours, I can spend that in one day in one of my videos. So that's just how it is. Like, and I know, like, you guys saying, why are you spending so much time? I tell you all the time. Not only do I enjoy it, but I'm also going to nerd out on fixing things that nobody's ever gonna notice. Nobody's ever gonna say, yo, that frame, like blend between 1 and 2 where you didn't show the background and you did this and you snuck that behind it. Like nobody's ever gonna mention it. And that's actually kind of the point where you don't, well, at least I don't have a lot of comments. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever had one. So that goes to show you. I've never had not one comment to tell me like, "Hey, your framing you missed here. This shot was like an error. There was something, like because on top of it, I just don't upload as well. After I've completed it, I export it and I'll watch that video 2 or 3 times to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I've learned my lessons because my first video on here had grammatical errors and those still come through, shine through every once in a while. But at the same time, I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't, happening. So I'm going to go ahead and change this lens once again. So I want to go ahead and put the zoom lens, which is the one that I actually have the most fun with in this setup. And then we're going to get to what you guys say. And then the last question of would you rather. So let me go ahead and throw this on here. Turn that back on. Zoom in. We'll leave it there. And let's go to it. Bam. And this one, I'll tell you the truth, this is hunted the less. This is the 12-28, and that's why I think I find it very, very impressive. Oh, Paul's got to head out. Saying have a great week. Thanks for hanging out, Paul. Paul says I have no problem with inspiration. Gretchen says B. Ooh, you see? Could you elaborate? B, new short daily. Oh, well, I guess that's exactly what you would rather do. You'd rather have like a video pumped out with less effort, which makes sense. But I love nerding out on the edits. Okay, now the last one. Would you rather? Week 4 is, well, yeah. Chad's shooting for the heart this time. He says, would you rather be underrated but completely respected, or go viral but never be taken seriously? That's a hell of a question, Chad. That is one hell of a question, Chad. So, once again, the question is, would you rather be underrated but completely respected, I guess, by like your colleagues and your co creators in this space, or go viral but never be taken seriously? I'm gonna, once again, this has been all A's for me this week. I will be picking A here. I would be underrated and completely respected than to go viral and not be taken seriously. I've seen too many content creators do that and go viral, and uh, they don't end up well. That's just been the mo of it. They don't end up well. Um, when nobody takes you seriously, then you don't take yourself seriously. You That allows, I believe, to let things that you wouldn't normally do creep in because you no longer take anything seriously. Now, there's a difference between being silly, but what I'm referencing more towards is like your peers, right? You're being respected by the same people in your friend groups, in your work groups. But then if you have that completely 180 and you're not being taken serious, like, I see it as a detriment for your future growth, right? I'm someone who's never gone viral and don't expect to go viral. I could definitely be considered underrated. I've gotten that message in my videos a lot of saying like, why don't you have more subscribers or this amount of subscribers and so on and so forth. And I'm like, well, that's not up to me who subscribes or doesn't subscribe. But I feel that I am respected, and that's what has allowed me to continue to work in this field, right? With companies, with clients, so on and so forth, making projects and doing something that I love, and that I'm respected for it, being able to make a living out of it. So that's definitely what I would select on Would You Rather. And yeah, everything that has to do with viruses or virality has never been good. So why would you hunt for that, right? I wouldn't mind being known and then being like respected. Like, well, yeah, that the respect is definitely over the virality. So if I were to just take it, those respect over virality, definitely I'm going with respect. And I think I'm glad to say that that's exactly where I'm at right now. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and check this out. Randy was saying that he doesn't have any problems with inspiration. Saying bye to Paul. Saying have a safe week. Gretchen says shorts are easier for me than editing time on photos. Okay, yeah, definitely makes sense. K Wall is also saying underrated, right? Randy says looks great. He goes, A, that was easy. Grandma Wisdom says A. A, underrated and respected. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So now that we got that, thank you once again for sharing your thoughts on this. We'll see what we come up with or what Chad comes up with next week. Maybe he's not gunning for me so badly that I felt attacked. You understand? Like, I don't know what I did to him this week, but definitely shooting for the shooting headshot, so to speak, this week at me. I'm gonna take that to account, Chad. I'm not gonna forget that. All right, but now we're gonna do this what we always do. Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. Sorry that I'm keep looking over here, but this is the teleprompter, so this is where you guys' messages are coming up, so that's how I'm reading them. But Cities God channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week we have. Did I hit the right one? Where's my Cities God page? There we are. Are we seeing it? What are we seeing? There we are. Luke Edwin. Perfect. Let's. We're supposed to have this move. There we go. Things are just taking forever. And you see the choppiness is back. But I digress. Luke Edwin, someone that I found recently, and honorary camera junkie, as you can see. He's got a bunch of different cameras. But if you can read in his bio, he just basically got to it. It says tech, art and 3D printing. And as you can see, that's where obviously he fell into my Venn diagram. He does a lot of 3D printing mods, and just right up my alley. Everything having to do with photography, mods, rigs, different things. And I just watched like 3 or 4 of his videos, and I was like, this is someone that I subscribe to like right away. So this video right here, as you can see, is just modding a 3D printed phone camera accessory. And the reason why I bring that up is because, you know, smart minds think alike. This is something that I've actually done. I did it with um what is this called again, the foam board, right? So like cardboard foam board. I took my iPhone XR and added a grip to it to be able to hold it easier, and through a matte box, kind of like to control flare, especially in my previous location where I had a lot more lights pointed a bunch of different directions. I had this one light that would come across the room and hit this and just completely blow it out. So I needed to actually make something to like mitigate the lights from hitting the side. So a bit of a lens hood slash matte box, and I built it into a simple silicone iPhone case, right? So that I can take it off and just utilize it. And this is previous to me learning how to 3D print. If I, with the 3D printer, I can probably remake this, or should remake it in that form factor, and we'd be good to go. I could probably make it completely out of TPU, which is a flexible material that will then allow it to work, but then also give it like rigidity and a lot more functionality, right? It's gonna be durable because of the type of material. But this is stuff that I've been doing for years now. You can see on the iPhone XR, and he's doing very similar things with 3D printing. So let me be the one to introduce you this week's City's Ga, Mr. Luke Edwin, channels that I think you should go and watch. And that's it, guys. We did it. We're gonna go ahead, say like that, channels that I think you should go and watch. We hit this button, we hit that one, so it floats away, and we've done it. This was episode 255. 255 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream. Uh, every single week without skipping a beat. Yeah, I almost forgot what I was saying. So, yep. So if you haven't figured it out by now, make sure to mark it down on your calendars. Like, subscribe, share, let your friends know what we're doing here, and that we're on our way to 5 years of every single Saturday doing this live stream without skipping a beat. And it's all because of you guys hanging out and making this my favorite place to hang out while we look for Easter eggs, answer questions, and completely nerd out about cameras. So if you're interested in watching more of that, please be sure to like, subscribe, so that you don't miss another one. And like I tell everyone, mark it down on your calendars. Set a reminder to hang out here 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday night on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. Yep, 255, Gretchen. Like, we are so close to 5 years. 5 years, I believe, is 262, right? I think that's the day that is gonna fall. We've been at it so long that I have to add like leap year days and stuff to this stuff, that just to keep track. But if you put it on your calendar every Saturday 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that way you'll be notified so that you don't miss a Mr. Camera Junkie live episode. So that's it, guys. Thank you as always. Have a great rest of your week. I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces. Oh, yeah, a bit of like house cleaning. I did mention I do have a new client, which is that I am going to be producing 4 weekly shows on YouTube. The person's name is Mr. Quincy Harris, and the show's name is Frequency. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and take a look at that. We're going to be producing a live show. We did our first live episode, which, that's what I was telling you. There's still some grammatical errors that slipped through, but the next episode will be Monday at 10 p.m. Oh no, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, and we're gonna do it Monday through Thursday. So I'm gonna be behind the scenes for that show for the foreseeable future, and I'm really excited for the opportunity of working with Quincy, and what we're gonna be building out over there on the Frequency show. So if you want to find a little bit more of myself, just know that you can find me there as I produce the Frequency shows Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm so used to saying 10 p.m. with my own show every Saturday that I see that it's just like falling out 10 p.m. No, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, right here on YouTube. So, yeah, looking forward to that and excited for the opportunity and where that can go, because he's got quite a bit of a network, and we're building out a pretty interesting show over there. So I'm having fun doing that. And like I say always, thank you as always for giving me the opportunity, the ability to do something that I love and make money doing so. So you guys rock. You guys are the best. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again right here next week on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you, yeah, you, next time. Talk to you.